Michael's favorite part, especially in history, was military uniforms.
Michael Jackson didn't just wear costumes, he used them to create a visual language that the world instantly recognized. From a single rhinestone glove to the legendary red jacket, every Michael Jackson outfit had a purpose. Each piece told a story and became part of his identity. For over 25 years, designers Michael Bush and Dennis Tompkins transformed inspiration from fairy tales, royalty, and military history into unforgettable works of wearable art.
And you go, God, here I have this most prolific, this artist in the world. He believes in me. And how that made you feel.
Michael Jackson didn't just wear costumes, he built a visual language. From a single rhinestone glove to military-inspired jackets and legendary fedoras, every piece of clothing told a story. For more than 25 years, designers Michael Bush and Dennis Tompkins worked alongside Jackson to transform fairy tales, military history, Hollywood glamour, and futuristic imagination into wearable art. This is the story of the outfits that redefined what a pop star could look like. The journey begins with perhaps the most famous accessory in music history, the crystal-encrusted white glove. When Michael Jackson performed Billie Jean during the Motown 25 television special in 1983, he wore a single glove covered in sparkling rhinestones. The choice was intentional. Michael wanted the audience's attention focused on the movements of his hand during every spin, point, and gesture. On a dark stage, one glittering glove created a powerful visual effect that nobody could ignore. The design became an instant symbol of his artistry and remains one of the most recognizable fashion items ever worn by a performer. Another unforgettable piece from that historic performance was the black sequined Billie Jean jacket. Hand-sewn by Michael's mother, Katherine Jackson, the jacket was lightweight and designed to allow complete freedom of movement. Under the bright television lights, the sequins shimmered with every step, helping create the image that would define his solo career. Combined with the glove, fedora, and loafers, the look became one of the most copied stage costumes in entertainment history. In 1983, Michael introduced another fashion masterpiece, the red leather Thriller jacket. Designed by Deborah Nadoolman Landis for the iconic Thriller short film, the jacket featured a bold red color with striking black details. The design broadened Michael's silhouette and gave him a commanding presence during the film's legendary dance sequences. What began as a movie costume quickly became a worldwide cultural phenomenon. Decades later, it remains one of the most famous jackets ever created. The late 1980s brought another unforgettable look with the smooth criminal white suit and fedora. Inspired by classic Hollywood gangster films, the outfit combined elegance with precision. The crisp white suit, blue shirt, and fedora created a sharp silhouette that perfectly matched Michael's choreography. During performances, the outfit became inseparable from the famous anti-gravity lean, one of the most astonishing dance moves ever performed on stage. The moment Michael placed the fedora on his head, the transformation from man to performer felt complete. When Michael released Bad in 1987, his visual style took a dramatic turn. Gone were the bright colors and fantasy-inspired designs. Instead, he appeared in an all-black leather outfit featuring zippers, buckles, and structured shoulders. Directed by Martin Scorsese, the Bad short film presented a tougher, more street-inspired image. The costume reflected the film's story and proved that Michael could completely reinvent his appearance without losing his identity. By 1995, Michael pushed fashion into new territory with the gold bodysuit created for the History album campaign. Sculpted to fit his body like a metallic statue, the outfit transformed him into a living monument. Combined with mirrored sunglasses and powerful imagery, the costume blurred the line between performer and legend. It wasn't designed for movement, it was designed to symbolize legacy, immortality, and history itself. Michael's creativity also embraced different cultures and artistic inspirations. In the Remember the Time video, he appeared in Egyptian-inspired robes decorated with gold details. The flowing garments moved dramatically during the choreography and helped create the image of a mystical entertainer arriving at a royal court. The costume demonstrated how fashion could enhance storytelling while showcasing a completely different side of his artistic personality. Not every memorable Michael Jackson outfit was extravagant. In the 1991 Black or White video, he wore a simple white shirt and black pants. The stripped-down look reflected the song's message of unity and equality. By removing military decorations, crystals, and elaborate designs, Michael made the focus the message itself. The simplicity became powerful because it allowed audiences everywhere to connect with the performance. Years later, in You Rock My World, Michael returned to the sharp gangster-inspired style that had made Smooth Criminal so memorable. Wearing a dark tailored jacket and matching fedora, he projected confidence and maturity. It was a refined evolution of one of his most successful visual identities and served as one of his final iconic music video looks. Some of Michael's most powerful fashion statements were deeply political. In Spike Lee's They Don't Care About Us video, he abandoned glamour entirely and wore a simple prison uniform. Without crystals, military braids, or flashy accessories, the costume forced viewers to focus on the song's message about injustice and oppression. It remains one of the strongest examples of clothing being used as activism. A similar emotional approach appeared during performances of Earth Song. Michael wore a distressed, torn shirt that symbolized environmental destruction and human suffering. As the performance intensified, the damaged fabric became part of the storytelling itself. There was no glamour or spectacle, only emotion, vulnerability, and a powerful message. Michael was even willing to hide his most famous feature, his face. In the opening sequence of Thriller, legendary makeup artist Rick Baker transformed him into a terrifying werewolf using prosthetics, fur, and special effects makeup. Instead of protecting his image, Michael sacrificed it for the sake of storytelling. The result became one of the most iconic transformations in entertainment history. Throughout all these eras, one accessory remained constant, the black fedora. More than just a hat, it became a symbol of transformation. Michael used it to create mystery, drama, and anticipation. Whether shading his eyes before a dance routine or completing the famous Smooth Criminal lean, the fedora became an essential part of his visual identity. Behind many of these designs was a philosophy that Michael Bush described as "Liberace goes to war." The concept combined sparkling glamour with military authority. Michael loved fairy tales, knights, kings, and powerful uniforms. He believed clothing should command attention, create mystery, and make a performer unforgettable. Rather than following fashion trends, he wanted fashion to follow him. To achieve this, Bush developed 4 principles for every costume: fit, function, fun, and first. The clothing had to fit perfectly, function flawlessly during performances, express creativity, and introduce something the audience had never seen before. These rules helped create some of the most recognizable costumes in entertainment history. Michael Jackson's wardrobe was never just about fashion. Every glove, jacket, suit, robe, and hat served a purpose. Together, they formed a visual language that helped transform a talented singer into a global icon. Decades later, these costumes remain instantly recognizable, proving that Michael Jackson didn't simply wear clothes, he turned fashion into part of the performance itself. Michael Jackson's costume philosophy was built around 4 simple principles known as the 4 Fs: fit, function, fun, and first. Fit meant every costume had to move like a second skin, allowing him to dance without restriction. Function ensured that every piece was safe and practical for live performances, where even a small mistake could disrupt the show. Fun brought imagination, fantasy, and childlike wonder into the designs, often inspired by Disney characters, fairy tales, and magical worlds that Michael loved throughout his life. But the most challenging principle was first. For Michael Jackson, every new costume had to introduce something audiences had never seen before. Designers Michael Bush and Dennis Tompkins were not allowed to simply recreate a successful look, no matter how popular it had become. Every tour, every music video, and every performance required a fresh visual idea. This commitment to innovation is one of the reasons Michael's wardrobe remained exciting and unpredictable for decades. Unlike most celebrities who followed fashion trends, Michael looked elsewhere for inspiration. His team rarely focused on contemporary fashion. Instead, they studied European military history, royal uniforms, and the ceremonial clothing worn by kings, princes, and emperors throughout history. According to Michael Bush, whenever Michael visited museums in Europe and saw historic royal garments displayed behind glass, he became fascinated by them. He admired the authority, elegance, and power these outfits projected. The structured shoulders, decorative details, military braiding, and regal silhouettes all influenced the costumes that would later become part of his signature image. This fascination helped create the unique style that made Michael Jackson instantly recognizable. His outfits combined the grandeur of royalty, the discipline of military uniforms, and the fantasy of fairy tales, creating a visual identity unlike anything the music world had ever seen. That dedication to originality is why, decades later, a single glove, a red jacket, or a black fedora can instantly remind millions of people of one name.
His favorite part, especially in history, was military uniforms. So that transcended into his rock and roll.
Michael Jackson didn't want cheap imitations of history. He wanted the real energy of legendary royal garments transformed into something he could perform in. To achieve that vision, designers Michael Bush and Dennis Tompkins studied European monarchs, military uniforms, crowns, and ceremonial armor. One of their biggest inspirations was King Henry VIII of England, whose broad shoulders, powerful silhouettes, and lavish decorations directly influenced many of Michael's iconic stage jackets. These research trips weren't simple museum visits. Whenever Michael saw historic royal clothing displayed behind glass, he became fascinated by the craftsmanship, authority, and symbolism behind every detail. Bush and Tompkins carefully studied the construction, proportions, and visual language of power that made kings and emperors appear larger than life. Their dedication went far beyond traditional fashion design. Dennis Tompkins taught himself metalworking techniques such as soldering and sandblasting so he could recreate the craftsmanship found in historical crowns and armor. Michael Bush spent countless nights repairing costumes damaged during performances, often fixing broken zippers only hours before the next show. Some projects required skills that didn't even exist within the fashion industry. One version of the illuminated Thriller jacket contained more than 11,000 lights and required engineers and technicians to operate it during live performances. These costumes weren't simply clothing, they were a combination of fashion, engineering, electronics, and stage technology. For over 25 years, Bush and Tompkins became more than designers. They became inventors, craftsmen, and problem solvers, constantly creating new solutions to bring Michael's imagination to life. Every tour pushed their technical abilities further, and impossible ideas were treated as challenges rather than obstacles. Michael also followed a unique philosophy known as the "look but can't touch" rule. He believed that if an audience member could easily buy and wear the same outfit, the sense of spectacle would disappear. His costumes needed to feel extraordinary, almost unattainable. This belief inspired features such as 18-karat gold plating, custom-molded armor, hand-stitched embroidery, and intricate details that required hundreds of hours of craftsmanship. Michael didn't want his stage clothing to make him appear ordinary or relatable. He wanted it to create mystery, aspiration, and a sense of wonder. Every costume was custom-built specifically for his body, his choreography, and his performances. These outfits weren't ordinary garments hanging in a store. They were architectural creations designed for one performer and one purpose only. Even Michael's shoes reflected this level of precision. His famous black loafers were among the most important tools in his performances. Surprisingly, he refused to let anyone polish them. The reason wasn't superstition, it was safety. Worn leather provided the grip he needed to execute complex dance routines. A freshly polished shoe could become dangerously slippery and increase the risk of injury. Michael understood that a single fall could affect not only him but an entire touring production. For him, footwear wasn't a fashion accessory, it was the foundation of every performance. This philosophy became especially clear during the production of Captain EO. When futuristic boots restricted his movement, Michael refused to sacrifice his dancing ability. Instead, the outer shells of the boots were modified so his trusted loafers could be hidden inside them. From the audience's perspective, the futuristic design remained intact, but Michael still had the comfort, balance, and control he needed. For Michael Jackson, every detail mattered. Whether it was a royal-inspired jacket, a handcrafted crown, a glowing stage costume, or a pair of worn loafers, each piece served a purpose. Together, they helped create the larger-than-life image that made him not just a performer, but a global icon whose visual legacy remains unforgettable decades later. For Michael Jackson, performance always came before appearance. No matter how impressive a costume looked, it could never interfere with movement, balance, or choreography. His famous loafers were treated less like fashion accessories and more like professional athletic equipment. Just as an athlete depends on specialized gear during a championship game, Michael depended on his shoes to execute every spin, slide, and dance move safely and consistently. This commitment to performance extended to every piece of his wardrobe. One of the best examples was the legendary Beat It jacket. During concerts, Michael didn't simply wear the jacket, he made it part of the performance itself. As the show reached its climax, he would rip it off, throw it to the stage floor, and stomp on it as part of the choreography. The damage was real. Night after night, zippers bent, snapped, and broke under the repeated impact. After each performance, Michael would often remind designer Michael Bush that the jacket needed repairs before the next show. While audiences slept, Bush spent long hours in his workshop carefully restoring damaged costumes, replacing broken hardware, and preparing everything for the following night's performance. It became a continuous cycle of destruction and restoration. Because of this dedication, every audience, regardless of the city or country, received the same level of energy, spectacle, and perfection. Fans never saw the repairs happening behind the scenes, but those late-night efforts were essential to maintaining the quality Michael demanded. His perfectionism didn't stop at creating the costumes. It extended to preserving them, repairing them, and ensuring they remain ready for the next performance. Michael often challenged his designers with unusual requests. One of his most famous phrases was simple: "Bush, that's me." What he really meant was, "Make me magical." And for more than 25 years, Michael Bush and Dennis Tompkins did exactly that. Together, they transformed imagination into reality, creating costumes that became as recognizable as the music itself. Today, many of those legendary outfits are displayed in museums, exhibitions, and private collections around the world. The rhinestone glove, the red thriller jacket, the military-inspired stage costumes, and the iconic fedoras have all become treasured pieces of pop culture history. But perhaps the most meaningful detail was never meant for the public. According to those closest to him, a small Tinker Bell figure was sewn inside the jacket Michael Jackson was buried in. It wasn't designed for a concert, a music video, or a museum display. It was a private symbol, representing the childlike wonder, imagination, and belief in magic that remained with him throughout his life. No auction can sell it. No collector can own it. It remains a deeply personal reminder of the man behind the legend. Michael Jackson's costumes were never just clothing. They were stories, symbols, dreams, and performances woven into fabric. They helped create one of the most recognizable visual identities in entertainment history. And although the king of pop is gone, the magic stitched into every glove, jacket, hat, and uniform continues to inspire generations around the world. Because Michael Jackson didn't just wear costumes.